Now that was a flyover. If you're ever going to do a flyover at a major sporting event, you get the biggest commercial jet you can find and just let it rip, because that is pretty cool. It's a nervy day. It's a fantastic day. It's going to be a great day to go racing, and we are live. Hello, how you doing? Welcome to Turn15 channel. This is it. This is the end. This is the end of the season, the end of the line, the end of the road. This is the title decider for 2025. The championship winner will be crowned in a couple of hours from now. It is absolutely electric down there on the grid at Abu Dhabi, where we are at the Yas Marina circuit for the final round of the championship. This is the big one. Lando Norris, 408 points. Max Verstappen, 396 points. Oscar Piastri, 392 points. 16 points covering the top three of the championship. The way it looks right now, the favourite, got to be Lando Norris. 12 points ahead, just needs the podium to bring it home. But Max Verstappen is relentless. He is an unstoppable force. He's proved that all year. He's proved that the last several years. That's why he's a 4-time champion. That's why today he could leave a 5-time champion. Lando Norris in the catbird seat. 12 points ahead. It's a nice, handy buffer to have. All he needs is a podium. All he needs is third place. He could drop back behind his teammate and just bring it home. Just bring it home and be crowned world champion. Oh, it's going to be a big one. Oscar Piastri, a little bit further back, needs a miracle. Needs a bit of a miracle to get it done today. And that's our top three on the grid as it happens, because that is just the way life works sometimes. Absolutely fantastic. Verstappen, Norris, Piastri, 1, 2, and 3 then. George Russell, 4th place. Charles Leclerc, 5th place. The top 5 of the championship, almost in order in the top 5 of the race. How about that? That's kind of how they got there in the end. Fernando Alonso will be 6th. Bortoleto 7th. Amazing qualifying again out of Bortoleto. Absolutely incredible. That rookie is having a pretty decent season, isn't he? Esteban Ocon in 8th. Isaac Hadjar in 9th. Yuki Tsunoda in his final race for Red Bull in 10th. Then Behrman, Sainz, Lawson, Antonelli struggling a bit in qualifying in 14th. Stroll 15th. Lewis Hamilton, struggle session continues. He's in 16th place. And then Albon, Hulkenberg. And then pretty predictably by this point, the Alpines, Gasly and Colapinto bringing up the rear, kind of where they've been all year. There's a reason that they lasted the championship, and that car, hate to say it, is a dog. But wow, what? This is it. This is it. I'm absolutely buzzing, electric, excited. This is going to be great. The race itself, we'll see. Abu Dhabi tends to be a little bit, either it's a slow burner or it's a no burner. Hopefully today it just burns all the way, because that would be a fitting end to the championship. From Australia to Abu Dhabi, all around the world in between, it has been fantastic. It really, really has been fantastic. It's been a joy to watch. It's been a joy to call it along for most of the season. Of course, I was missing at the start of the season. It's been a great year. It's been a great year, and this is the first time on this channel that we've had a championship showdown in the final race of the year, so I'm absolutely buzzing for this. Hopefully it will be a little bit less controversial than the last time we had a championship showdown at Abu Dhabi. And hopefully it'll be a little bit more entertaining than the last time we had a multi-driver championship showdown in Abu Dhabi, because 2010 was so fucking dire that we got DRS out of it. DRS, I suppose, as well, is having its final race, because DRS is gone from next year. There's a big rule overhaul coming. DRS is one of the casualties now. I'm a little bit torn on that. I'm what you call more of a racing purist, or a racist for short, but I digest. More of a racing purist. DRS, push to pass, things like that, they're a little bit newfangled. I don't really like them. They seem a little bit impure. I think DRS has helped with what it was supposed to, because we've thankfully avoided for a large part at least, repeats of Abu Dhabi 2010. But it's just a little bit gimmicky. It's a little bit too gimmicky for my liking, so we'll see how we get on without it next year. Of course, it's still going to be movable wings. It's going to be rear wing and front wing this time, but that's a whole nother thing that I'll get into probably next year when it's there. no real point dwelling on it right now. It's coming and we're stuck with it, and that's the way it is. Now, news in the week, I suppose the biggest news besides championship ruminations, Red Bull has finally announced its driver lineup for next year. Pretty predictable by this point. Isaac Hadjar, Max Verstappen, both in at Red Bull Racing. Liam Lawson retained by Racing Bulls, and Arvid Lindblad being promoted up from Formula 2. Kind of saw this coming, to be honest. Tsunoda has been on a hiding to nothing, really, ever since he joined Red Bull. A lot of promise to start with. The Imola crash in qualifying kind of derailed kind of the rest of his season from that point. It destroyed a lot of the new parts on his car. A lot of the big movers at the team didn't really have confidence in him. After that, they didn't really have confidence in him to begin with, to be honest. In fact, that second seat at Red Bull has been a bit of a bloody mess for a very long time. So let's see if Isaac can steady that ship a little bit. The big problem Isaac Hadjar has at Red Bull, and it's something that Checo's encountered, and it's something that Gasly and Albon have encountered, something that Tsunoda encountered, something that Lawson encountered. Red Bull don't really care about the second seat, and Max Verstappen is about the worst teammate you could ever wish to have, because he is... Now, phrases like greatest of all time, I think, there's too many caveats really for that to work in Formula 1, because the technology moves so quickly. You look at the cars now compared to what they were 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 years ago. They're totally different, absolutely different. The tracks that they race out are different, the conditions that they race under are different, the rules that they race under are different. Things like safety cars and all of that sort of stuff hasn't always been in Formula 1. So it's pretty hard, it's pretty difficult to ascertain who is truly the greatest of Formula 1 history. Who is the very best driver? Senna, Jim Clark, Lewis Hamilton, Fernando Alonso, Schumacher, Verstappen, Stewart. There's a lot of names that you could throw around. Fangio. There's a lot of names you could throw around, and all of them raced in very distinct, well, except for Hamilton and Verstappen really, all of them raced in very distinct, different eras. But Max does look pretty bloody good, doesn't he? He really, really, really looks good. It's hard to figure out who's the greatest of all time, but that name really kind of suits that title, I think. And we'll see if he suits 2025 F1 champion as a title as well. Now, the race will be kicking off in about 6 minutes' time, so what else do we have to go through? So, yeah, Red Bull, we'll see how they get along next year. Hadjar, I'm hoping for good things out of him. Had a good feeling about him before his debut season this year. He looked quick in F3, he looked quick in F2. He's looked very quick in F1, already got a podium for Racing Bulls as well, back in Zandvoort, so absolutely fantastic for Isaac. What can he do against Max Verstappen? I guess just score regular points, and don't embarrass yourself, really. That's got to be the criteria. I'm not sure what else you could really measure him by. I don't see him doing anything really against Max Verstappen. Isaac looks good. I don't know if he looks Verstappen good. I really don't think he looks Verstappen good, to be honest. Even though he does look good, Verstappen is really that next level of driver. So let's see. It'll be fun. Yuki Tsunoda, end of the road, I think. Test and reserve driver next year for Red Bull. That's more of a agreement that they have with Honda to be able to run TPC testing days. So testing of previous cars is what that is. It's where you see young drivers, rookies, or no-hopers or whatever. They'll go to places like Imola, Catalonia, whatever, and they'll just bomb around in cars that are 2 years old or older. Now, Red Bull currently run Honda engines. They're not running Honda next year, but they still need Honda tech support to run TPC. It's just kind of where Yuki Tsunoda gets involved. Is he going to be back on the grid? I wonder. I mean, we've seen drivers resurrect their careers after Red Bull embarrassment. Albon did it. Lawson has done it so far. Gasly did pretty well after he got demoted from Red Bull. Kvyat kind of just bummed around a little bit, didn't really do a whole lot. A couple of podiums here and there, but no, I think one podium after he left Red Bull, wasn't it? But not really anything great. Kvyat was really used goods by the time he left Red Bull, which is a shame, because he looked very good when he was young. So Checo Perez as well, coming back for Cadillac. So let's see, maybe Tsunoda will get back on the grid. Maybe he'll follow Honda to Aston Martin for 27. Maybe Alonso stops in 27 and they need Tsunoda as the driver, as a gap until they get their megastar signing. Lot of things happening. Could be a massive jumble of drivers for 2027. It really could be. Verstappen, Piastri, perhaps. I'm hearing news that he might be looking for a way out of McLaren. We'll see. I don't really believe that news, but, it's out there. So we'll see. Hamilton, I think, is the big one to watch because his contract runs out at the end of next year. I think he's got an option for 27. I'm not sure which side has the option, but it could be the end of Hamilton at Ferrari, especially if he has another year next year like he's had this year, because this year has been a gigantic, soggy, wet fart of a season, which is a great shame. There's a lot of hype behind Lewis Hamilton coming into Ferrari at the start of the year, and it has just turned into a never-ending nightmare. So I feel for the guy as much as you can feel for a multi-millionaire pro athlete, all-time legend, world champion, but that's how it goes sometimes. Just going through the grid on the Sky broadcast, as always, which we are following along with. Now, any other news? I suppose I got to mention the Oscar Piastri thing. It's coming out in the Australian media that Oscar Piastri apparently leaked from McLaren insiders who are remaining anonymous, has been mistreated and is being favoured against at McLaren. They're really putting all their eggs in the Norris basket. They're ignoring Piastri and things like that. I don't believe that at all. I think that is coping and moping from the Aussie media. They said he was banned from speaking to the Australian media in Abu Dhabi. He wasn't banned. McLaren just aren't having Norris or Piastri talk to the media whatsoever in the lead up beyond what is required out of the FIA. It's just, if you know anything about News Corp, and if you know anything about the Aussie media, don't ever fucking listen to them. They are almost always completely full of shit. So I guess that's the big caveat. Australia also, I can tell you from experience, is a country of very, very sore losers, and they're looking, unfortunately, probably at a championship loser, unless everything goes great today, unless Norris and Verstappen collide at the first corner today. We're looking down the barrel at another Australian who isn't going to win a world championship this year. So the Aussie media doesn't really like that. They never like when we lose, and that's their thing, but they're just kind of inventing stories, I think. Anonymous sources, which totally exist, wink, have said this. So I think I would take that with not just a grain of salt, maybe an ocean full of salt. There's Oscar staring in his car right now. He needs a miracle really to win it. Lando Norris in his car just needs to bring it home. And of course today I am completely unbiased. There's the caption will be 2025 drivers champion if he finishes on the podium. That's true. Max Verstappen, championship contender, starting from pole. Basically all Max can do is win and then hope something happens behind him. He cannot fuck around with Lando and lose the win. He has to get the win to bring it home. 2 lights left. The grid is starting to clear. The race is almost upon us. The formation lap at least. And then we go racing. Now, anything else from the week? Fornaroli has joined the Young Drivers program at McLaren, so good news for him. F2 champion. Was unaffiliated for the whole season with an F1 team. He now has McLaren, so we'll probably see him in an FP1 session or two next year. Looks good. I don't know how to put this for an F3 and F2 champion who was back-to-back, but kind of underwhelming. So let's see. Maybe I'm wrong. Who knows? We'll see what happens for Leo Fornaroli in his career. The clock ticks over now. Formation lap has just started. Green light. Max is away. Norris is away. Piastri's a little slow to get away. Russell's away. It looks like everyone's going for it. No yellow flags. I don't think we have any stallers. That's great news. Looks like we should have a regular start. Everyone's really bunched up coming out of the first corner there. Now, starting tyres. Piastri on the hards, Tsunoda on the hards, Antonelli on the hards, Stroll on the hards, Hamilton, Albon and Hulkenberg on the softs, so those three are looking to make a rapid start. Everybody else is going on the medium, so Verstappen and Norris look like they're going to be doing more or less matching strategies. Piastri doing something different, kind of has to, really has to hope that something works tonight. Looking back at Lando there. He seemed a little bit calmer than I thought he would. I mean, a lot has been made of his mental state and his mental fortitude this year. I think maybe a little too much has been made of it, to be honest, but we'll see, because the pressure has never been more on than right now. Fans have travelled from 105 different countries for the 2025 season finale. Well, ain't that something? Not me, though. It's a lovely... I mean, they've built an amazing looking facility here. It really, really does look good. And I tell you, the tweaks that they made to the track after 2020, the Turn 9 sweeper that we've got there, that big, long sweeping hairpin, and Turn 5 as well, where they got rid of that dicky little chicane. It's made this track a lot better. It's made this track a lot racier, so hopefully we get a decent race out of this. Now, Drivers' Championship, Leclerc, Russell, neither of them can be caught. Little bit of a battle, only 2 points between Hamilton and Kimi Antonelli. Both of them out of the points right now, so it could be... it could turn on a dime. We'll see. All eyes towards the front, though. Max Verstappen comes around to the main straight. So does Lando Norris. So does Oscar Piastri. This is absolutely electric, I gotta tell you. I am absolutely buzzing here. Oh, I love Formula One. I live for Formula One. I've watched this for years and years and years and years, and I tell you, this championship battle has been absolutely brilliant. Not as intense as 2021, but it has been very, very fun. And like I said, it's been a long, long time since we had more than 2 drivers go to a title showdown, so this is very, very interesting. On board with Max, just getting comfortable there. The Alpines are just bringing up the rear, about to come around the final corner. Any other news from the week? Nothing really pressing, I guess. Nothing really pressing. I guess I'll just talk about it during the race if anything really comes up. If you've got anything you want to say, pop it in the chat. Oh, here we go. Cars lining up. Green flag at the back. Ooh. 4 lights. 5. Out. Great start out of Max. Goes to cover off the McLarens, and he's done it. Oh, average start out of Piastri, but it doesn't look like he's going to lose a position. Alonso has jumped it. Absolutely gone crazy up there. So Max, Norris, Piastri, 1, 2, 3 coming out of the first couple of corners. All as they were. George Russell has absolutely dropped anchor there on the start. He's back to 6th already. Leclerc having a look at Piastri. Oh, I don't know if he really wants to get involved there. Bit of an odd line. Now Alonso's got a decent run on him. Coming down the back straight. God, George is absolutely being left behind here. Side by side, the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. Here we go. Into turn 6. Oh, Alonso very close with Leclerc. Leclerc just stays ahead. Whew. Very, very close for comfort there. Side by side with the McLarens. Oh, side by side. Don't fight him, Lando. You don't need to. There he goes. Oscar up to 2nd. That's kind of surprising, actually. I mean, you can see Lando, he's going to have to fight from here. He can't afford to drop back to 4th. If he drops back to 4th and Max wins the race, remember, Max will be champion. That said, let's see what McLaren do, because they could also throw the Joker of team orders out. They said that they have... Zach Brown said that he will do that if he absolutely needs to. He just might have to, who knows. Lap 2, Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Alonso, Russell, then Bortoleto holding on to 7th, Hadjar 8th, Ocon down to 9th, Tsunoda holding on to 10th. Hamilton's had a decent start. Albon's had a decent start, so those soft tyres are working well. Hulkenberg, nothing doing. Of course, it's the end of the DRS train as well after this round, so thank goodness for that. DRS is one of those things that works great in theory, but then you try it in practice and it's a little bit gimmicky or it just doesn't really work as intended. Verstappen already pulled out 1.5 seconds on Oscar Piastri, so well out of DRS range. It's all going great for Max right now. 1.2 seconds between Piastri and Norris, so he is also out of DRS range. Oh, but Norris has Leclerc and Alonso and Russell all right behind him. This is the important part. Nearly 2 seconds now between Verstappen and Piastri. Okay, here's the spoiler. I got it for you already. Verstappen is going to win this race. So now it's just all eyes on what happens to Lando Norris. We've seen a couple of times this year in different categories. Unlikely champions. Right at the end of the championship. Supercars, NASCAR. Both of them had final race calamities for the championship leaders. I wonder if we'll see the same today. World Rally Championship as well, of course. Russell complaining about his brake pedal going long. That's not good. It's a great shame. He's had a good season as well, George Russell. And even with a long brake pedal, it looks like he's catching right up to Fernando Alonso. Having a quick look on the inside now. Is that a genuine trying to get him in his mirrors, or is that just trying to find cool air for that engine? Hamilton Albon incident leading the track and gaining an advantage at turn 7. Well, that explains why they both had such a rocket start. Hamilton's up to 13th now. I mean, Leclerc's still hanging on to Norris here. Alonso's dropped back a little bit. Get the feeling, I mean, it was a bad start for Russell. I haven't seen a replay yet, but it's been a bad start for Russell. I know he was hoping to sort of get up and get involved in the top 3 battle here, but it's just all fallen apart right at the start. It's hard to make a good pass here. I mean, it's a lot easier than it used to be with the reprofiled turn 5, but it's still quite difficult to make it work. Oh, Lando looking in his mirrors. He's nervous. Here's Russell. On Fernando Alonso down the inside. Nice move. Gets it done. The brakes look like they're working pretty well there. Okay, now this is crucial for the race actually, because if Russell can get up to Charles Leclerc, especially if he can get past Charles Leclerc, that is the true joker in the pack. Lando's going nowhere. Look at Charles Leclerc having a look at him. Oh, Lewis Hamilton going past a Haas as well. Oh, Behrman and Hamilton going at it back there. Not like that, you sicko. Good grief. And my God, what happened to Kimi Antonelli? Down to 17th place. Well, looks like both the Mercedes had terrible starts. Here we go, Norris radio. Alright, so Norris's engineer just trying to keep him comfortable, saying we're happy with this, as long as you're comfortable. What he's saying is you don't have to push the car. Don't push the car, don't do anything stupid, just bring it home. I think that's got to be the mantra for Lando Norris today, just bring it home. All he needs is 3rd place. And I tell you what, suddenly those 3 points that McLaren gifted him at Monza look very, very important, don't they? Very, very important. If that Monza swap had not happened, we would be looking right now at Verstappen as the world champion. What a thought. There's always little things here and there through the year that you can look back on. You know, what if Lando hadn't crashed in Saudi? What if he in Saudi qualifying? What if he hadn't have crashed into his teammate in Canada? What would that have done for the championship? Always there's little bits here and there, you know. If they hadn't have been disqualified, if they run the car just a little bit higher, a little bit slower. Here's a replay of the start. Alonso, wow, what a start. Absolutely amazing start. Russell just kind of went nowhere, but backwards. It's good news for McLaren. What they really needed was the Ferrari. They needed Charles Leclerc to get ahead of George Russell, so having Alonso do it as well is just a little bit of icing on the cake. Because that Mercedes is quick, and it's quick when the track cools down as well, and the track is going to cool down as nighttime comes along. So on board with Max, just straight across. Straight, doing the what Lando did at Las Vegas, but doing it right this time. Nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So here we go. On board with Russell. Oh, almost spun off the start. And that car was just going nowhere. Just no traction at the back. Wheels just spinning. Yeah, pretty average start out of George. And then just playing it conservative. Through turn 3 and turn 4. Now this is Oscar Piastri getting by Lando Norris. Yep, just gets a bit of slipstream, pulls to the outside, forces the move, and I don't think Lando really needs to fight that. They would have discussed that earlier, the team. I think they would have said, especially to Lando, you don't have to fight your teammate. You really don't. Just bring it home in third. I mean, what McLaren I think really want is Oscar to win the race, so that he can jump Max Verstappen in the championship. He's 4 points behind right now, so if he wins the race, he will get that back, and he will definitely get second in the championship. Alright, Red Bull just reassuring Max, just saying that it's all good, and he's 2.3 seconds ahead of Piastri, so it is going all good. Gasly-Hulkenberg incident, turn 5 collision noted. Still haven't seen that. Haven't seen the Albon and Hamilton cutting the track either. Oh, talking about it now. All right. No further investigation with the Lewis Hamilton one. Charles Leclerc is caught right up to Lando Norris again. Is he playing it too easy here? Is he playing it too conservatively? I mean, he needs to bring it home, but he really does need to bring it home in a podium, you know. Bringing it home in 4th or 5th won't do it today. The pressure is still on. I mean, top 3 is not guaranteed. It's great form out of Ferrari today, or at least out of one of them today. Alright, McLaren's asked also to pick up the pace a little bit, so I don't know if Norris is just trying to back Lando up a little bit. I don't think he would be doing that. I mean, what Verstappen could do here, all he could do, he's in the lead, and if he really wants to play it clever or dirty, however you choose to live your life, he could try to back this pack up. We saw, 2016, Hamilton was leading the race, and he was trying to back Nico Rosberg up to get Sebastian Vettel past him, because if Seb could make the pass work, Lewis would have won the championship. Didn't work that day, but it could be something that Max could try if he's later in the race and he's starting to get desperate, because the best thing that could happen for Max is he wins and Norris is 4th or beyond. He only needs to finish ahead of Piastri. Doesn't really matter what position. He just needs to finish ahead of Piastri and he will win it. Or he will win that battle between him and Oscar. Norris is the big one. So I wonder if Verstappen's going to try to maybe back the pack up a little bit later. Keep an eye on it. Either way. 2 seconds now. Now, is that Oscar picking up the pace, or is that Verstappen slowing down a little bit? We'll see. We'll see. Leclerc still within DRS range, but only just barely. Russell's fallen 2 seconds behind Charles Leclerc. Hamilton and Albon both in the pits. Hulkenberg's already pitted, so the soft runners have gotten rid of their rubbers. Pretty Yeah, 2 point. Why does a 2.4 second stop look so bloody bang average nowadays? It's not even a bad stop. Like, it's a pretty okay stop. It just doesn't look that quick anymore. We've been spoilt. We're almost used to like 2.1, 2.2 second stop. Even 0.2 second added onto a stop, just it looks like it takes, like every tenth of a second looks like it takes a whole second longer to get done in a pit stop. It's quite the thing now. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Russell still is top 5. Alonso, Bortoleto. Alonso's forming a bit of a train behind him. Bortoleto, Hadjar, Ocon, Tsunoda, Lawson, Behrman, all within around about a second, half a second of each other. Now what that will do is it's going to create in a few laps time, and I mean quite a few laps time, it's going to create a nice big window for these front runners potentially to pit into. Of course, Verstappen, because he's in the lead, will be hitting that window before anybody else behind him can, so it would help him offset any sort of an undercut maybe that McLaren might try to throw his way. Now, if you're McLaren, what do you do? What do you do? Where Norris is right now, he's going to win the championship. Where Piastri is right now, he's not going to win shit. So would you swap them? Would you have Piastri as a rear gunner? I mean, if Verstappen were to drop out of this race, if his engine blew up or whatever whatever scenario you want, if Piastri wins and Norris is second, Norris is still going to be a champion. However, if Verstappen stays there, if Leclerc gets past Lando Norris, Verstappen is champion. So what do you do? This is going to be, I think, a very, very interesting final stint of the race. There's going to be a whole lot of questions. I mean, we're going to get there first. Who knows who's going to make it there, but potentially it could be very, very interesting. Lawson, Behrman driving erratically. I'll have to see that. They say at turn 8, but I'd love if they put the lap that they're talking about as well. That'd make it easy to figure out what the fuck the stewards are looking at there now. It's quite a train forming up behind Alonso, and everyone's around about a second behind. I know I've just mentioned it, but it really is quite a train now because Tsunoda, Lawson, Behrman, Sainz, Stroll, Antonelli have all joined it. You can see it on the live timer over here. It's just a great line of cars, which is good news for the likes of Hamilton, Hulkenberg and Albon, because it means everybody that they're trying to catch in front of them is so much slower than they are. So they're on a different strategy, but it's going to bring them back up to the pack a lot quicker. Basically, if you have any car that is significantly slower than everybody else, stuck right around the middle of the pack, or sixth in this case, it starts messing with everything. Makes a strategy in the midfield a lot more fun. So, lap 12. My goodness, where did that go? More than 20% through this race now. Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Russell still the top 5. Oh, potentially this could be the first time we've had a double championship for McLaren since 1998, I think is the last time. Which I got to tell you, predates this channel by quite a lot. And this is, I think the most incredible thing about this is, cast your mind back even not that long ago, just before COVID, so there was just, the McLaren were a joke. I remember in 2018 they had the I think it was the Renault engine that year that they put in the back of the car, and it was just a pile of shit. Like, the car was no good. McLaren and Williams by the end of the year were genuinely dead last on pace. They just were going nowhere. This has just been an amazing turnaround. We're looking potentially, I mean, McLaren have already won 2 Constructors' Championships in a row. We're looking potentially at a Drivers' Championship and a Constructors' Championship, the double for McLaren. Only a few years removed from that nightmare season. It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I mean, it's been 9 years since the championship showdown I mentioned before between Hamilton and Rosberg, and it's just amazing to see what McLaren has become since then. They were abso-fucking-lutely nowhere, and looking like they were just in a death spiral. Norris complaining about graining on his tyres, which is kind of no surprise. They are still Pirellis. And Pirellis tend to do that. Charles Leclerc, by the way, has dropped about 1.5 seconds off the back of Lando Norris, so looking a little bit safer there for Lando. Sun setting there in the background. Charles Leclerc now 1.7 seconds behind Lando Norris. Commentary talking about Isaac Hadjar breaking away from the DRS train, and it's true, he's 3.4 seconds behind Gabriel Bortoleto now. 3.5 seconds behind Gabriel Bortoleto, so maybe a couple of windows in this DRS train are starting to open up. Gasly in the pits. I mean, at this point, Pierre Gasly could stop for like a coffee and a cigarette in the pits. It's not really going to help his race position anymore. It's not really going to harm it either. Liam Lawson, 5-second time penalty, so that would be for driving erratically, I think. Yep. I mean, that's one thing about Liam Lawson that's been pretty consistent, I think, so far in his career. Drives like an arsehole, to be honest. There's kind of no other real way to put it. Plenty of collisions over the year, over the couple of years that he's been in Formula One. Fucking hell, Esteban's old man looks just like him, doesn't he? You can really see where that comes from. Russell, box. Oh, here we go. George Russell's in the pits. What is this? And is that Isaac Hadjar following him as well? It is. Here we go. Hard tyres. Is this going to be a slow away? Very, very slow away for Russell. Just look at that car bouncing on the way out of the... It's like when you don't get the clutch right coming off the traffic lights and the car just jumps. Piastri quick in the first sector as well, so he's really picked up the pace. Only 1.6 seconds behind Verstappen. Here we go. Hold on to your hats. We got a race coming. Lando Norris 3.3 behind Oscar Piastri, so I'm not sure Lando has it in his mind to win this race at all. I think he figured if he can get the jump on Max at the start, maybe go for the win, but other than that, forget about it. Just settle. Take the big picture. Bring it home. What would be interesting, actually, is Verstappen, if it ends like this, Norris will be champion, but Verstappen will have had more race wins than Lando Norris. kind of shows the year that he's had. I think, honestly, but between all three of them, I think they all would have earned a championship. Piastri was absolutely formidable for at least 2/3 of the championship. He was absolutely fantastic. Saw it again last week in Qatar until that pit stop calamity. His pace was just undeniable. He was phenomenal. He was great all year. Bortoletto in the pits as well. And just off the strength of that, I think. I mean, after Spain, how many wins has he had? Just the one, I think? Ooh. So, a lot kind of went wrong in the second half of the year. Specifically, after the summer break for Oscar Piastri, it all started unraveling. Which is a great shame for him because he had a brilliant year going until then. Definitely looked like a worthy world champion halfway through the year. Absolutely looked locked into it as well. Verstappen, we'll get to Verstappen. Lando Norris, I think, is keep building this gap. Okay, so Norris radio just telling him he's doing a good job. A-OK, well done, son. Lando Norris has been very up and down this year. Very up and down in terms of form, luck, mistakes, things like that. Very high highs. Good luck that the stewards in Silverstone were very, I want to say harsh on Piastri, but he, as the rules are written, he kind of earned that one. He got the call in Silverstone, which helped him to win. He got a great win in Monaco. Great win in Albert Park. He was fantastic at Mexico, fantastic in Brazil. Put those demons to bed. He's done well. He's done very, very well this year, and I think he, again, would be a worthy world champion. Again, you just look at little bits through the year where it could have gone better, and if you take something like his engine blowing up in Zandvoort, which he couldn't help, he would already be champion. He would have another 18 points on everybody. Yeah, and that would be enough to already be champion for Lando Norris. So, alright, Oscar being asked about his strategy. Doable for now. Norris has also pitted and he's come out into all of this traffic while I've been waffling on, so not great. Now, this is dangerous. This is dangerous, but the good thing is he has covered off Leclerc. He has covered off Leclerc, but the thing is, we saw Fernando Alonso throw away a championship in 2010. Well, rather, Ferrari threw away a championship for Fernando Alonso in 2010. They were so focused on covering off Mark Webber behind them that they didn't focus on Sebastian Vettel in front of them, who then ran away with the win and the championship. I wonder if McLaren have maybe reacted a little bit too early. Of course, you've got to be wary of the undercut from Charles Leclerc, but he's going to be losing so much time in this traffic. And Antonelli and Stroll and Tsunoda all on the hards. I mean, there's no reason for Tsunoda to pit here. If Tsunoda has to drop... In fact, Tsunoda and Lawson are kind of leading this DRS train, so all they have to do is just to pull the pace off a little bit, and you will throw all of these guys way, way further back. Russell complaining about moving under braking. Lando's going for it. On Kimi Antonelli, has to do it. And he nails it. Well done, well done. Lando's got it going. So, that's done. Antonelli's looking to come back at him here. Norris looking in his mirrors. Norris goes to the inside to cover. Looks like it's going to be okay. Yeah. Looks like he's alright. It's Carlos Sainz ahead of him. Old teammates, these two. I doubt Carlos is going to make it too difficult for Lando here. Just weird. Drive to Survive told me that they were fierce enemies. Look at that. Liam Lawson ahead, fighting with Lance Stroll. Now, Lawson or Tsunoda have a chance to do something very, very endearing for Red Bull. Potentially very funny here. So, let's see. Let's see what happens. Norris on Stroll coming up very, very soon. Meanwhile, Verstappen and Piastri holding station 1 and 2 at the front. I mean, McLaren have kind of made it hard work here for Lando Norris. I think if you're trying to cover the undercut for Leclerc and he comes out in all of this traffic, that's sort of the undercut already taken care of, surely. Not sure about this. Not sure about this move. But we'll see. At the very least, it's making it harder for him. He's taking a lot more out of his tyres. Now, is this going to be enough to get him at least back up to third? Probably. We'll see. Leclerc-Russell incident noted now, moving on to braking. Well, Russell was very angry on the radio about it. There's Lawson. Is it going to be a 2-for-1? It is going to be a 2-for-1. Stroll and Lawson in one straight for Lando Norris. Well done, lad. Well done, Lando. That's how it's done. Back up to 5th. 4 seconds now behind Yuki Tsunoda. Now, what's Lawson going to do? He's going to come back at him. He's going to have to. He drives like an asshole. Watch out. Watch out, Lando. Lando's got so much more grip than him, though, on those new tyres. Nah, it's all over. I think Norris will break away from him here in the next few corners. Yeah, look at that. Lawson's already starting to drop back. There's just nothing really he can do with those tyres. Could potentially have been very, very funny. Ocon in the pits. So that's one more out of the way for Lando Norris. Now Tsunoda. That's the big question. And he is on the hard tyres as well. Here we go. So this is Charles Leclerc. On Kimi Antonelli. Just about as bang average straightforward pass as you could imagine. All the action's going on ahead of him. Just gets the job done. Oh, what is this? Stroll and Leclerc side by side. Going down the back straight. So Leclerc's going to get this done on the inside. He's going to go for the double on Lawson as well. Lance Stroll is acting as a catapult for everybody else, like a slingshot for everybody else trying to get past Liam Lawson. Liam's going to be cursing the Stroll name like a lot of this grid has done over the years, at least at one point. Norris now 3.2 seconds behind Tsunoda, so he is catching him. He's definitely catching him. And Tsunoda, I mean, Red Bull could have waited, kept Tsunoda dangling along with his future until after this race if I think they wanted Tsunoda to do something very funny here. Well, there's a bit of work. There was a bit more work I think that Lando really would have wanted there, but he is back up to 4th. Essentially, it's third on the road once Tsunoda pits. And, well, Max, Piastri are both going to be, I think, pretty clear of him on the road. So he's not going to get the undercut on either of them. But importantly, he's pitted, and it looks like he's going to be good to go to the end. Now, what Red Bull really, really needed was this as genuine pace out of Yuki Tsunoda for the rest of the year. Yeah, Red Bull just telling him. It's a bit like Checo Perez in 2021. When Lewis Hamilton caught him about halfway through the race, all they want is just delay him. Delay, 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 delay. The best thing that they could do. Delay him enough that maybe Charles Leclerc can get involved. Quite a bit of action going on that mini screen, isn't there, with George Russell around the outside of Lance Stroll, and is he going to get Liam Lawson as well? Yeah, look at him go. Good double pass there. How often do you see like 3 double passes in a couple of laps in F1 in the dry? Fantastic. Lance is just... Now Lance is ahead of Liam Lawson. I know what to do, so leave me. So leave to me. Says Yuki Tsunoda. I know what to do. How cryptic. How interesting. Norris now 1.6 seconds behind Yuki. Here we go. Lawson's in the pits. So that passing partnership is over now between he and Stroll. RIP, guys. We'll never forget you. Streets will never forget. I wonder if Norris is quite wary of him. I mean, if Tsunoda could do something very funny here, he would probably never come back to F1 if he does it, but he's probably never coming back anyway. Now, I was saying a few weeks ago, keep an eye on Yuki Tsunoda maybe going to IndyCar with Dale Coyne, because they have a Honda seat open. It's the only seat, I think, that's still open for next season. And they've kind of delayed their announcement of who's going to be in that seat, along with Red Bull, at the same time delaying their announcement of who's going to be driving for them next season. But I wonder if Yuki's going to do it. He said kind of the typical thing that, you know, being dropped by Red Bull has been disappointing, galling, heartbreaking, and he's determined to get back on the F1 grid, and we'll see. We'll see with Yuki. We'll see what he does in the future, if this really is it, or if we will see him in the end, because, like I said before, we saw Checo after a year out. We'll see him again. We saw Albon again after a year out. It's not impossible to rebuild your career after being dropped by Red Bull. It's definitely not impossible, but it requires a bit of timing as well. Like, Williams just happened to be looking for a great driver when Albon was looking for a seat, so that worked out that way. Cadillac as well. Ooh, Yuki really forcing the issue there with Lando Norris. I think he might have earned himself a penalty for that. That's a great pass for Lando Norris. I'm not sure about that from Yuki Tsunoda. I don't know if he left enough room there, or if Lando just went for the off-track. I wonder if McLaren are going to tell them. They're going to tell Lando to give the position back just in case. Verstappen, box. Now is Piastri going to follow him in? I wouldn't expect so, because he's on the hards. And he hasn't. Pretty decent stop. What is that, 2.3? Yeah. Looks like Yuki Tsunoda's dropped quite a bit already behind Lando Norris, so I want to see a replay of that. I want to know if Yuki has pushed him off, or if Lando went off, if you know what I mean. Like, if Lando went for the pass and went off track to make the pass, a bit like Ricciardo and Paul Ricciardo all those years ago. Here we go, on board. In the DRS, Yuki's trying to break the toe. Lando's not having it. I think he... So Yuki's trying to break the toe here, and then he's... Yeah, Lando definitely did go off the track to make the pass stick, but did Yuki just kind of force him off there? I guess McLaren would say Tsunoda and Norris move noted by race control. Ooh, I don't know about that one. I don't know. Might have to see it a couple of times again. My gut tells me it was absolutely forced off the track, but it's probably how race control will see it, I think. We'll see. I mean, Leclerc has passed Yuki Tsunoda now, so if Norris has to get the position up, he gives up 2 places here. And crucially, Charles Leclerc will be in 3rd place. Oh, I wonder if that's what Red Bull were after. I wonder if that's what Red Bull would be after. If they would argue that he went for the pass off the track. Oh, this potentially could be very, very interesting. This is what I meant by doing something funny out of Yuki Tsunoda. Piastri now 18 seconds. 18.5 seconds ahead of Verstappen in 2nd, and that gap is only going to shrink with Max on brand new hard tyres. Piastri will be on mediums, I would assume, at the end of this race, so he's going to have quite a bit of pace in them. If he's close enough to Verstappen, maybe he can go for a pass. This is going to be very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. Now, what is this? Charles Leclerc on board. Is this going to be him getting past Tsunoda? I would assume so. Yuki makes it a lot easier there for him. So it's been noted, that move, but it's not under investigation here. I mean, the stewards could just say, I think you're both being arseholes, so just play on. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to call that. They could call it one way, they could call it the other. I don't know. I'm a little bit 50-50 on it myself. I mean, we know what Yuki's doing. We know that he's not going to leave enough room. Oh, stewards are looking at it, leaving the track and gaining an advantage. This is bad news for Leclerc, and I think what would be even worse, I mean, at this point, they're just going to have to give him a time penalty. They can't say go back, redress it, because he's too far behind. So now Norris is going to have at least 5 seconds in his pocket. Oh. I don't know about this anymore. That's very tricky, and Leclerc's got some pace. He's got the fastest lap right now. Oh. This is very, very interesting. Now, what was I saying before? Lando, up and down, very up and down. Yeah, but overall, 7 wins. I think 7 poles. That's World Championship material. I mean, if he finishes the year with the most points, he's earned the championship, I'll put it that way. That's fine. Especially when he's had an engine blow up while he's running second, especially when he's being disqualified after a podium finish. I think to me, that's enough to be a worthy world champion. Without either of those two, he would already be champion. So there is that. But in terms of just relentless force over the year, it's got to be Max. If we're just awarding the championship to which driver was the best with what they had all year, it's got to be Max. Absolutely has to be Max Verstappen. Apart from losing his cool in Spain and running into the side of George Russell, which if he hadn't have done, we would have a lot closer championship right now. I wonder if he thinks about that at all. That said, that was kind of probably the one point of the year where I thought, Jesus, Max, what was that about? Everything else that he's done has just been phenomenal. I mean, he really, really is just brilliant. Really is just a brilliant driver. Oh. Leclerc, this pace is mega, well done. It is mega. It's the fastest of anybody on the track right now. Where has this been out of Ferrari all season? It's been so shit all year. They've not won a race. They're probably not going to win today unless something really strange happens. I don't know. It's a shame for Ferrari. Where's Hamilton now? 8th place. Kind of on a hiding to nothing. Now, he's already made his pit stop, but he's going to have to take those tyres a very long way into the race. Ooh, Alonso goes by Antonelli. Now, is that going to be overtaking off the track? Oh, I think he's just about got away with it there. Yeah, I think he's just about got away with that one. Should be fine. Oh, it all hinges on what the stewards do now. Once again, a steward's decision. Well, I suppose the last time it was a race director's decision, but once again, an official decision could decide the championship here today. Oh, George, nearly side by side with Yuki Tsunoda as well. Just a quick shout out to the timing tower today, the timing screen, the live timing by F1, holding it together today. No wrong tyre information, no bugging, no lagging, no crashing. It's been a nice end to the season after what was a pretty dog shit run for it, to be honest. This is all very, very nervy here. On board with Russell. Getting close, but not quite getting past Tsunoda. I wonder if Red Bull realise, let Russell go here and let him get involved with the top 4 fight. Russell would be very, very handy to Red Bull here. And there he goes into turn 9 and away. 5 second penalty. Ooh, so it's a 5 second time penalty for Tsunoda. More than one change of direction. Yeah, fair enough. And you could see Yuki also move. He did the weave to try to break the toe, which is generally that's tolerated, but then he also went left a little bit further. Like the weave goes left, right, left, right. It doesn't go left, right, left, left. You know what I mean? Norris leaving the track and gaining an advantage, no further action. So yeah, they think that Tsunoda, that second jink to the left, is what has caused all of that. Fair enough. Fair enough. Oh man, I tell you, those stewards really could have made an interesting decision there, and it looks like they made the right one. I think Red Bull, that's probably what they would have asked Yuki, do something, do anything, do something like that. If it works, great. If it doesn't, you're out on your ass after tonight anyway, so whatevs. Yeah, Zach Brown saying it's a dangerous and unnecessary manoeuvre, which is probably what he told the stewards as well. It's interesting what, maybe if you'd had Christian Horner here, just to have him on the radio, what he would have been saying. Yeah. Zach sounds not impressed with that move out of Tsunoda. Steward's probably saying the same thing. So, Piastri, Verstappen, Norris, Leclerc, Russell. That's your top 5. Black and white flag for Antonelli, track limits. So he's been taking the piss somewhere around the track. Black and white flag for Hamilton for track limits as well. Come on guys, get it together. That's the live. As it stands, Norris will be world champion, but it's not going to stay like that. Piastri has to pit, and at this rate, when Piastri pits, he will come out, goodness, in 4th place. He will be very quick though compared to everybody else. So I wonder if Verstappen, Norris and Leclerc are all going to go to the end on these tyres. I'd assume Verstappen would, because he would only have to do about half distance on the hards, which is absolutely doable. I'd say everybody's done their stop now except for Piastri. Tsunoda. Oh, I'm gonna miss this. Tsunoda. What penalty, bro? That's fantastic. Let's add that to the words of wisdom. Alright. Lewis in the pits. What can I say? Red Bull asked something out of Tsunoda. I don't think they can be too upset. Tsunoda did something. It just wasn't great, and well, he's going to eat a little bit of shit for it. which is going to send Tsunoda pretty much right to the back of this race. Because Piastri needs to pit. Tsunoda, Stroll, Antonelli all need to pit as well. I think they'll all be kind of waiting for a safety car. I think Piastri is just waiting for a little window to pit into, which he would have here, but he would have to then work it back behind, back past Leclerc. But I mean, end of the day, I think probably Piastri's strategy isn't the quickest way around. You'd have to look at Verstappen, Norris. That is probably the quickest strategy around here. Start on the mediums, get on the hards. Going late here, you kind of risk everybody undercutting you over half of the race. And then pitting into traffic, and then you have to really work your way by them. It could work. Who knows? It could work, but I mean, McLaren were kind of forced into doing that really with Piastri. They couldn't run the same strategy as Norris and Verstappen because that would not win them a championship. Doing the same thing as the other guy and needing to get clearly ahead of them is not going to win you a world championship. They had to do something different. It looks like right now it's just not going to work. Now what is this? Ocon and Kimi Antonelli. That's just Ocon. Looks like just getting by Antonelli. Yeah, pretty straightforward pass there. Now, lap 34. So we've got about 24 laps to go for the rest of the season. It's time to reflect. Oh, Behrman sizing up Hulkenberg. Yeah, Behrman past Hulkenberg. Martin Brundle giving Piastri his dues, saying he will be a world champion one day. He could be a world champion one day. He's definitely quick enough. He needs... It's a bit like last year. He needs to work, I think, a bit on consistency. He was fantastic for 2/3 of this championship and then kind of fell off a cliff. There's a lot of conspiracy theories about why that might have been. I don't believe McLaren paid out the arse to get Ricciardo out and Piastri in just to snooker him in a championship. I don't believe that for a second. I think that's fucking stupid, to be honest. The papaya rules thing blowing up in Monza. Again, like I said at the time, it wasn't so much a strategy blunder. It was somebody on the pit crew fucked the stop up. And I think that was more a desperate attempt to keep the garage intact and to keep them from potentially civil warring against each other. Each car, each driver has his own set of engineers, mechanics and things like that, and generally they just stick to one car through a season. You don't want them warring with each other because that's how a team falls apart. So it was about preserving team like that. Not so much between the drivers, but definitely the team itself. That's what that was about. Apart from that, I think the Baku was shit. Brazil, the penalty that he got there, it could just be, it's been argued that it's Norris Radio. Just a little bit of a pep talk for him. Yeah, Norris just basically being told, you're a good boy, well done, pat on the head. Yeah, I think Piastri, he will look back like the points he gave up crashing with Lando at Kota in the sprints. I think they could have been very, very vital. I mean, he would have, at the very least, if he had finished even third in that race, he would have another 6 points and he would only be 10 behind Norris, in which case this right now would be enough to win him a championship. Although I suppose Norris would have finished with a bit more points as well, so it's a bit hard to, You take points here, you take points there, you give, you take, etc. At the end of the year, it's all come down to this. And basically, the end of the story is, I don't think Piastri's going to win this championship. He is good enough to win a championship, but you really need the car to do it too. And next year is going to be wide open. Really is wide open. Audi joining, Cadillac joining, although I don't expect anything out of Cadillac really for at least a good couple of years. Audi are a total joker in the pack. Red Bull making its own engine is another joker in the pack. Honda going to Aston Martin is going to be a totally different thing. Who knows what Williams is going to have out for next year in terms of a car package. Who knows what Ferrari is going to shit out of Maranello. Who knows what Mercedes is going to do. Who's going to have the best engine, the best power unit package. Who's going to have the best car. It's all going to be different. How is the racing itself going to work with the movable wings and all of that sort of shit, and the different simplified aero going away from the ground effects? Is Hamilton going to be able to really unlock his very best, because this ground effects era really hasn't served him well? It's going to be very interesting. It's going to be very interesting. Albon speeding in the pit lane noted, so that'll be a penalty. It's going to be very interesting next year. And I'd say on pure skill, at his best, Piastri's saying his rears are starting to get worse, so expect him in the pit soon. About 21 laps left in the race, so he'll be pitting very soon, I'd say. Piastri definitely has the skill to be world champion. Then again, so does George Russell, in my opinion. So does Charles Leclerc, in my opinion. So hasn't happened for either of them yet. It's never guaranteed, this sport. It's never guaranteed. I remember thinking in 2010, when Mark Webber was going for the championship, and he led the championship for most of the season. And does this sound familiar? He led the championship for most of the season. Good wins along the way. Ended up having a real struggle at the end of the season. Crashed in Korea. Was beaten in Brazil. Had a pretty fucking disastrous race at Abu Dhabi. It just fell apart when he really needed to. When he needed it to lock in and get the win, it just kind of fell away from him. And he ended up losing the championship to a teammate that he had led for most of the season in what was generally the best car of the year. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? It really does sound familiar. And Mark Webber never won a championship again, although he was a lot older than Piastri is when he was going for it. He also had Sebastian Vettel, prime Sebastian Vettel, as a teammate. I gotta tell you, whatever left in 2013 from Sebastian Vettel did not come back, really. He never really looked like that kind of a driver again. Just never really looked like the old Seb again. Had some good wins after that. Had a good few wins at Ferrari. Had a decent-ish shot at the title in 2017 and 2018, both of which imploded kind of spectacularly, but never really recaptured the magic. That said, I'd expect Piastri is going to keep on plugging, keep on going. He could well be a champion. He could be a champion next year, who knows? That said, Mark Webber missed that one. Was never in it again. Jenson Button, 2009, championship, nailed it. Almost threw it away as well. A lot like Piastri, looks like he's doing. 6 wins in 7 races to start the year. Never won again. Only a couple of podiums again after that. The car fell away. And just snuck it over the line. Got it over the line, locked in, got it done. And it was fantastic. Well deserved. Definitely good enough to be a champion. And he was given the opportunity one year, and he made it count, and he got it done. Penalty for Albon, so yeah, kind of. Anytime there's like a speeding in pit lane noted, there's a penalty coming, really, unless the gun has fucked up, which it kind of never does. But what I'm saying is, there's a point to this rambling, and that is, not everybody wins a championship who could. Daniel Ricciardo, I think, was definitely good enough to win at least one Formula 1 World Championship, but was just never in the car that allowed him to do it when he was good enough to do it, when he was really in his prime. Just didn't have the equipment to get it done. It just happens sometimes. And guys like Leclerc and Russell, again, I would have bet the house on Charles Leclerc winning a championship by now into his career. What is he, in year 8 of his Formula 1 career? The fact that he's only got a few race wins is just insane. I don't even think he's got 10. It's crazy to me, and he definitely hasn't got any this year. Absolutely insane. You never know in Formula 1. You never know. That's what makes winning a championship so damn special, because if you can get it across the line, if you can do it, you're immortal. You've won it. You've won it forever. And no one can take that shit away from you. Unless you're Felipe Massa. Nobody can take that shit away from you. And it is life-changing. It's fantastic. It's brilliant. Charles Leclerc in the pits. Here we go. $18 laps to go. Now, is McLaren going to react to this? Are McLaren going to react to this? They could pit. He's only got about 6.5 seconds. I get the feeling they're going to have to pit Lando Norris, because Charles Leclerc, he's going to have to try to get past George Russell again, but on the mediums. 18 laps to go. That's a lot of time to make up. I wonder if they're going to do it. They're kind of going to have to do it. I think Piastri's just sort of... Yeah, Norris, box, there we go. Piastri's still out, still has not pitted. Stroll as well still has not pitted, so I think at this point they're just waiting for a safety car. Ooh. This is all just to cover off Charles Leclerc here, and Norris has 26 seconds over George Russell, so as long as the stop is good enough, he should be able to cover him. The problem is, if the stop is not good enough, that's probably where there's a bit of a trepidation there out of McLaren. Norris looks like he is in the pits, and he is. Now, how's it going to go? All looks pretty okay. Looks pretty fine. 2.4 seconds. Kind of your bog standard stop. Yeah, look where George and Leclerc are. They're quite far behind. He should be able to get this done. They're not even around the final corner yet. Is this Max Verstappen coming up on Oscar Piastri? Yeah, there it is. And Verstappen takes the lead. And that is, see you later, son. It's all over. It's all over. Piastri now is going to have to pit. He really is just going to have to pit like this lap. There's really nothing else to it. And I think Oscar knows. He knows that it's over. Looks like Oscar Piastri is going to be pulled into the pits as well. Gasly and Colapinto in the pits together for a double stack, because why not when you're Alpine? You got nothing to win, nothing to lose, just sort of going through the motions. Here's Piastri in the pits. It's an okay stop. 2.2. Actually, it's a pretty good stop. Are my eyes deceiving me? They must be. It's been a long all season, isn't it? 24 races. I can't believe it, man. We used to have like 17, 18 races, and that was like, whoa, that's enough, surely. 24 of these fucking things, and 6 sprints as well. Potentially more coming, not next year, but the year after that. I said it when sprint started, we're probably going to end up with like either every race or most races are going to end up having sprints. I get the feeling we'll be on that way, as long as F1 does not do that stupid playoffs bullshit like in NASCAR, the finals like in supercars or anything like that. We definitely do not need that in Formula 1. We really, really, really don't. This is Leclerc on George Russell. Nailed it. Leclerc on his brand new tyres. Russell kind of can't pit here. He was going to come out behind the Aston Martins and in a whole bunch of traffic here, so I think he's just going to kind of flail to the end. So they want Piastri to chase out Verstappen. I mean, yeah, but kind of why? Easier said than done. There's Charles Leclerc behind Lando Norris. Stroll in the pits, Hulk in the pits. Now, can Charles Leclerc do anything here? Can he ruin England's day? It seems like half of England doesn't like Lando Norris anymore, does it? Lewis Hamilton getting past the Sauber. Yeah, nailed it. Good pass, Lewis. Fantastic. I mean, if nothing else this year, Hamilton's had some fantastic helmets. It's kind of his only bright spot. And I suppose if that's what you're really hanging your hat on this year, then you've had a miserable fucking season. And Hamilton has had a miserable fucking season. And I gotta say, I mean, as it stands right now, he is going to beat Kimi Antonelli in the points, so at the very least there's that. But there's been nothing really else going for Lewis Hamilton this year. No podiums. Alright, Verstappen. Yeah, I think they're just going to leave Verstappen out here. They're going to just hope that he can bring it back, hope that Piastri can't catch him, hope that Leclerc can do something against Lando Norris. He is catching him. He's definitely catching him. The thing is, 5 seconds ahead of Norris is Piastri, and if Charles Leclerc gets by Lando Norris, I think McLaren are going to tell Piastri to scoot his own ass back to fourth and put Lando back up to third, which they can do. They can give him a phantom pit stop or anything like that. They could just tell him to, slow the fuck down and let Lando go by. I mean, Constructors' Championship's wrapped up. None of that shit matters. It's all the Drivers' Championship. And Zach Brown said in the week they would be crazy to just throw away a Drivers' Championship for no reason. And if Piastri finishes second and Leclerc is third and Norris is fourth, that really is throwing a Drivers' Championship away for no reason. You could argue about merits of worth, how much do you deserve, etc., etc. I think Norris is kind of owed one by the team after Las Vegas, so... Piastri asking how he wins the race. That's the best bit. You don't. Oh, hello. You come by for the end of the year, huh? Come on. Little friends come to say hi. Come on. So just looking at this now, I'm wondering if Russell, Alonso, Behrman are they going to pit again? I mean, here we are. We're winding down to the end now. It's like 45 of 58. 46 of 58, rather. Are they going to pit Verstappen? The way that it is right now, Verstappen will not win this championship. If they pit Verstappen, if they pit Verstappen and Leclerc does jump Norris, then they look like idiots. Red Bull, that is. They look fucking stupid. They could just keep Max out and just pray that he makes it to the end. The hard tyres should be able to make it to the end from here. It's going to be pretty bloody worn, but it should be able to make it to the end. We'll see, though. We'll see. 14 laps. 14 laps to the end. Look at Charles Leclerc. Absolutely going for it. That car looks planted. I would just hope that at the end of this, nobody gets stung. Nobody in the top 4 or 5 gets stung for a plank wear or any of that silly shit. Then we have a championship decided in the steward's room. I think that's the biggest nightmare, to be honest. Imagine winning the championship as Norris and then be told, actually, you're DQ'd again. And Max is champion. Might jump off a yacht and you never see him again. Is that Gasly time penalty? What's that for? Track limits. Alright, naughty boy. Not that a 5-second time penalty is going to do really anything to Pierre Gasly. Probably apart from him having to spend an extra 5 seconds in that dog shit car. It's not much of a punishment. Well, it's a festive season. I'm in a festive mood. It's also a reflective season. We're in a reflective mood. No more than Lewis Hamilton with the reflective helmet. Probably reflecting on just why the fuck he bothered to get in a Ferrari. When it comes to best driver of the year, in my opinion, gotta be Max Verstappen. Has to be. It really, really has to be. I think George Russell's had a fantastic year. Fernando Alonso has come on really strong in the second half of the year. Hadjar's had a great rookie year. Bortoletto, pretty up and down, but overall a decent rookie year. Antonelli, again, very up and down. Great highs in the rookie year. Also a few lows, and today looks like a low. Williams in general, great. Absolutely fantastic. 5th place. 2 podiums. 2 podiums. Unbelievable. Verstappen asking if Charles was catching him. So Max knows. Max is keeping the eye. He's trying to figure out, is it worth 10 laps to go, 20 seconds. Piastri's going to have to be 2 seconds a lap quicker here. I don't know. I mean, those tyres are going to be hitting the edge of their usefulness soon. How are they looking as well? They're a bit worn. Little bit grainy, but nothing awful. I think it's because it's a night race as well. It's a lot easier on the tyres. They don't have that extra heat source just baking them and ripping them apart. I think Verstappen, all he has to do from here is just bring it home. He's only got 10 laps to go. Piastri, 20 seconds. I don't think he's going to catch him. Leclerc, 4.2. I don't think he's going to catch Norris. I think it's just going to be this, to be honest. Unless we get a 2021 repeat, I think it's just going to be a weird... Not really a weird, it's just going to be sort of a petering out to the end here. Now, Leclerc, I think, has had a pretty decent year, to be honest. The car's been shit, the team has been a joke, and he's still done pretty okay with it. He's got a pole position, no wins, but at least a couple of podiums. At the very least, there's that, and he's also, I mean, for all the talk that Hamilton would come in and reinvigorate Ferrari somehow, well... Antonelli past Isaac Hadjar, good move around the outside in turn 9. These reprofiled turn 9 is just fantastic. It's so much better for passing. That old monstrosity bullshit, left, right, left, slow, half-assed chicane they used to have down there was just an absolute ball buster. Like, it just sucked. So yeah, that Charles Leclerc has just not just beaten Lewis Hamilton this year, but just kind of dismantled him. A bit like he did with Seb Vettel at Ferrari. Lest we forget, Seb Vettel was replaced had been announced he was out of Ferrari before the 2020 season eventually got started, which means Charles Leclerc beat his ass so bad in 2019 that Ferrari had seen the light and just said, you know what, it's not going to work, see ya. And it looks like he's doing that again. What could have been if Charles Leclerc had have had a decent car in any fucking point of his career, a car that was decent and stayed decent through the year, not one that fell off a cliff or had an engine detuned for cheating, or anything like that. It's a great shame. It's a shame. That's what I was saying before. Some guys should be champion. Could, would, should, and somehow don't. It's the top three I think have had a decent year as well. I mean, obviously that's why they're the top three in the championship. I mean, the top five in this race and the championship have all had decent years, all varying amounts of decency, but pretty good. There's a few drivers up and down the grid up and down the field right now who could be proud of the year. I think Sainz has really come on strong at Williams after a challenging start. Albon's had a fantastic year. It's kind of gone off the boil a bit the last few races. I mean, that car by now is just stuck together with pieces of Lego and Scotch tape, so it's not really the fastest thing on the track at all, but Alex has had a great year so far. Great year, a whole bunch of point finishes. Surprising that he didn't get a podium though for Williams. Sainz got 2 and a sprint. It's not really a podium, but a top 3 in a sprint race as well. I suppose that's why Williams were just so desperate for him, isn't it? Always like Carlos Sainz, always thought he was the business. So, always been very happy with that. Oh, wait, what's going on here? Do you want attention? Wait, come on. Come on. The season's almost done. Why don't you come up here, huh? Just a little bit camera shy she is. Not shy about making a ruckus though. Yeah, here we go. 7 laps to the end. Piastri 17 seconds. Cooked. It's over. And Verstappen will finish ahead of Oscar Piastri in the championship, which is just phenomenal. 104 points. I think. I'm pretty sure it was 104 points after Zandvoort. With 9 rounds to go in the championship. 104 points Piastri was ahead of Verstappen, and that's how far it fell off. I think of all the top 3, Verstappen may be thinking about Spain. If he hadn't have done that silly mistake at Spain, he would be champion. Norris, it looks like, is going to be the champion. So maybe not as much to reflect on there because he ended up sneaking it over the line, but I think Oscar probably is going to be reflecting more than anybody what could have been. I think, yeah, Piastri, I think, is going to be the one reflecting, maybe the most regretful over what could have been this year. I think it really should have been Oscar's championship, to be honest. Especially if you take the first 15 rounds into account. He was just absolutely brilliant, and then it just has completely fallen away from him. Like corn. Oh well, that's a shame. Again. I'll tell you what, Haas is having a decent little race there in 7th and 9th. Behrman's had a decent year. A really decent go of it. Mexico, Brazil, had a nice little run of points lately. Here we go. Points as it stands. Norris champion by 2 points. And I tell you what. If they don't switch the cars at Monza, as much as that was derided at the time, Max is the champion. Of course, they would have to switch the cars today, which I think would go down maybe a whole lot worse, but those points were crucial in the end. They really were crucial. And I was thinking at the time, it kind of doesn't even matter for Piastri because he's so far ahead, like he could probably afford to lose 3 points that day. No. I didn't realise he was right on the edge of the cliff. There's Hamilton getting by Ocon. Decent pace out of Hamilton today. We've kind of come to expect that with Hamilton. I mean, when he starts as far back as he does, generally, he can only really go forward. Oh, Ocon's going by him again. And Ocon's going to keep it there, at least through turn 9. Hamilton, oh, big moment in turn 9 for Lewis there. Had a crash there in practice yesterday as well, so that quarter's not been that nice to him this season. I tell you, it's so close for Red Bull in the end as well, and all it took was just getting Christian Horner out, and maybe that helped to turn the team around. Now, Laurent Mekies has said that all the work that has turned the team around was all Christian's work. You know, it's nothing to do with him or anything. And that is true for the most part, but it's gone quiet at Red Bull in terms of team infighting and power struggles, implosions, things like that. All of that has died out over the last few months. Goes to show just what a little bit of team harmony can do. Four and a half laps to go here. It's going to end like this. Leclerc is now down 7 seconds on Lando Norris, so he's certainly not going to catch him. It's done. It's absolutely done. It's over. At this point, I'm not even sure if a safety car comes out now, depending on why it comes out. If you would even really have time for a restart. Oh, it's 2.7 seconds now between Norris and Piastri. Is Lando going to go for second? We'll see. I think Piastri is probably very fed up in the car. Doing his very Gen Z... I don't know how to describe it. The Billie Eilish look. It's just almost like a blank, like, bleh, pout. I think that's what Piastri will be wearing under his helmet. Either way, we've talked about some of the good this year. The Red Bull turnaround's been heartening for them. McLaren, brilliant. Well, somehow fumbling, like a fumbling juggler that somehow manages to keep all the balls up in the air, even when they should be hitting the ground. As far as the shit this year, well, Ferrari is one. Ferrari I expected so much more out of. I was thinking, coming off their form at the end of last season, where they were winning races and winning, getting podiums and all of that, I thought this is a team that is absolutely primed. They could well win the championship. They got Charles Leclerc in their arsenal, bringing in Lewis Hamilton as well. They should be ready to make a title challenge. And then they launched this. Oh, Norris. Just talking about why Oscar's going so slow. Then when Ferrari released their car and they had revamped a whole bunch of it, kind of for no reason. And I guess the sprint win for Lewis was great until the Grand Prix happened and, they realised that they couldn't actually run that car that low to the ground without disqualifying it, so the whole car was fucked, and then they spent the whole year being completely unable to fix it, so... Not great out of Ferrari, been pretty bloody average. Mercedes a couple of wins, but it's just more of the same that they've been doing the last few years. That's Stroll making a move. Stroll is going to finish the year in the points. With at least a point, it looks like. Good work, Lance. Good stuff. Double points for Haas, double points for Aston Martin to finish the year. Double points for Ferrari, double for McLaren, then a single for Red Bull, and a single for Mercedes. Looks like that's what it's going to be. What is that? Turn 8 involving Stroll and Science. Oh, watch this space. It's nice to see Audi, or Sauber, Sauber for the next 3 laps, and then that name finally disappears from the grid after, God, 35, 36 years? What's it been? 37 years? Something like that? It's been a long, long time that they've been on the grid. What was it? 93. When was 93? 32 years. It's been 32 years that Sauber's been on the grid in one way or another, and that ends tonight. So, rest in peace, Sauber. The fact that Peter Sauber has outlived the Sauber team is actually kind of surprising, to be honest. The way he used to munch them cigars. And the fact that he's like 400 years old now. Yeah, been really more of the same from Mercedes this year. A big wet fart out of Aston Martin all season. Just kind of nothing. Just really, really nothing. No podiums for them. So Ferrari and Aston Martin, both no podiums. Which is insane considering how in 2023 they were more or less racking and stacking those things. Always behind Max Verstappen and Red Bull, but, you know, nevertheless. Alpine, I think, are probably maybe one of the biggest wet farts of the year. Lewis at Ferrari definitely is one, because that just has not come together, and it doesn't sound like it's going to get any better next year. That driver and that team just are not gelling at all. They're like pig and elephant DNA. It just ain't working. Alpine killing their own engine program, becoming Renault in name only. I don't even know what the fuck that team is anymore. I'm not sure what they're really aiming for next year. Who knows? Maybe it'll be interesting. Team Enstone generally over the years has punched above their weight. When given a decent engine and a decent go of it, they tend to go well. But this is not one of those years. This has been total dog shit, to be honest. Here we go. The final lap of the season has started. Max Verstappen, Oscar Piastri, Lando Norris. Max is going to be hoping, praying, sending him up, maybe even sending him down below. It might even be worth selling the soul at this point. If Lando makes it to the end of this lap without losing a place, he is the champion. And it's amazing that Max Verstappen would have 8 wins this year. Wins 8 races. King of the sprints again. For the most part this year, more than Lando, more than Piastri, I think, has been brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Almost every single time. Turned it up. He turned up. He turned it up. Never got too turned up except for that one time. And it's just not going to be enough. It's a bit of Alonso in 2012 to this. Though I think Max's car is a little bit better than what Alonso was driving in 2012. Comes into the final part of the track. Final part of the circuit. Under the hotel. And out again. Past the Latifi corner. 2 corners to go. It's it. It's going to be over. Here he comes. Final corner. Max Verstappen wins in Abu Dhabi. Wins the race brilliantly. Oscar Piastri follows him home, 12.5 seconds behind in the end. Again, fantastic, but just not enough. Lando Norris, 3rd, champion. Lando Norris is your champion. Absolutely fantastic. Charles Leclerc home 4th. Oh, that was absolutely fantastic. Oh, and maybe a little bit of repping that too. Well done, Lando. I had a feeling today. I just had a feeling he would get it done. That's what being 12 points ahead does for you. Absolutely fantastic. And I tell you what, how crucial was that mistake by Kimi Antonelli last week now? Because that would not have been enough. Had Kimi Antonelli held on for one final fucking lap, it wouldn't have been enough for Lando. Amazing. Again, you do the entire season, 24 races, 6 sprints, you go all over the world, nearly every weekend at this point it feels like. You race your ass off, you collect the points, and then in the end it all comes down to just a few pivotal moments, one of which was the Monza Pass repass, one of which was running into Oscar Piastri in Canada, kind of for no reason, which he owned, fair enough. One of them was the steward saying, "Hey Oscar, you're driving like an arsehole behind the safety car at Silverstone, fuck off." But maybe the biggest one was last week when Kimi Antonelli had it was a little bit of a "is that Glock" kind of a moment. That's it. It's over. Lando Norris is your world champion. Zach talking to Lando. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. That's it. It's over. It's over. So Verstappen, Piastri, Norris, Leclerc, Russell, Alonso, Ocon, Hamilton, Stroll in 9th in the end, and Bam in 10th. That is your final top 10 of the year. Then Hulkenberg, Bortoletto, Sainz, Tsunoda, Antonelli, Albon, Hadjar, Lawson, Gasly, and Colapinto. Yeah, that's it. That's it. And look at Lando, he's absolutely stoked. A lot of tears in those eyes. From the class of 19, between Russell, Norris, Albon, even the class of 18 with Charles Leclerc, I wouldn't have picked Lando Norris as the first of those champions. But earned it. Absolutely earned it. Max Verstappen sounds very magnanimous in defeat. He's had 4 championships already. He said a 5th one wouldn't change his life, and yeah. I think it's a brave face, but I think he'll feel that. He will feel that. He drove his arse off this year, and it just barely was not enough. Just barely. And I wonder if he's thinking about Spain now, and thinking about just play the long game all season. Just play the long game. Amazing. McLaren, double champions. Lando Norris lighting him up on the front straight. Let's see how his donuts go. Yeah. Pretty okay. Pretty okay. Bless him. He's absolutely stoked. And I'm stoked for him. Always good to have a new world champion of Formula One. It's he's also, interestingly enough, the first F2 graduate to become a Formula One world champion. So sure shows a stranglehold that Hamilton and Verstappen have had on this sport for the last decade or so. In fact, he's the first new champion since Verstappen in 21. The first new British champion since, Jenson Button in 2009, I think? Am I missing somebody? No, I don't think I am. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. He got it. He did it. Well done. Well done. He was a favourite coming into the year. It looked good after the first round. After the next few rounds, it didn't look that good. After the first half of the season, it really didn't look that good. And I tell you what, he had detractors all season. He's had claims of favouritism within McLaren. He's been told he's too mentally weak to win the championship. It's absolutely not going to work. Oscar, very magnanimous in defeat as well. As Lando's parents looking stoked. They thought, thank fuck, all that karting money was worth it. Oh, bless him. It's a great moment for him. Great moment for that family. And a new name on the World Championship trophy. Yeah, it's been told, you're too weak to win a championship. That's why he won't win a championship. He's too weak. He's not good enough. He's not quick enough. But more than anything, he's too weak upstairs to get it done. He's not ruthless enough. He can't do it. To be fair, I don't think he is ruthless enough, but to win a championship, well, sometimes you get that season, you get the car, you get the opportunity. You either get Max Verstappen thrown at you, and you can still pull it over the line. Well done, Lando. Well done. Worthy champion, I think. Absolutely a worthy champion. A worthy champion of a good year of Formula One racing. It's been good. It's been fun. It's been a very interesting title fight. The racing's been pretty okay. I think the racing's been pretty generally okay. I know a lot of the drivers are sick of these cars, and they can't wait to get rid of them. But I mean, at least they kind of look cool. I could just hear chants of Max, Max, Max from the crowd. Yeah, Oscar still somehow smiling. Well, Norris with Ben Sulayem, who, I don't know who wants to be front and centre more, Ben Sulayem or Stefano Domenicali. It's like a real titanic battle of the attention hose. George Russell comes over to congratulate him as well. Good work, George. They've known each other for years and years, both coming from England. It's brilliant. It's great for Lando. Absolutely great for Lando. It's fantastic. And you know what? Well deserved. Well deserved. There's Carlos Sainz as well. Those bitter rivals, fierce enemies. Yeah, Carlos is absolutely stoked for him too. Now Lando is holding his breath, trying to get as much milligrams of oxygen into him as he can on the scale. Any bit helps. Maybe if he finds some dog shit on the side of the road, he can step in that as well before he gets on the scale. Add a few grams to his weight. Helmet comes off. Taking it all in. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah. The anime, and I tell you what, and I said it all season, I think too much is being made of his supposed mental fragility. Is that Fernando Alonso? Congratulating him as well. Good stuff. A lot's been made of it, but I think, well, the proof's in the pudding. He got it done. He got it done when it counted, so well done, Lando Norris. Well done indeed. The 35th world champion in F1 history as well. Good stuff. Yeah, look at him, he's stoked. Bless him. Well, I think that might be a good time to throw the checkers on this stream and on this year's live watch-alongs, because there's nothing left until March now, until the Australian Grand Prix, which I will be back here streaming live because, quite frankly, the event fucking sucks now and I'm not going again, but the racing is good. So I'll be right back here for it to stream along. Hope you can join me then. Thank you very, very much. It's been a lovely season, a lovely year. It's been brilliant. Hoping for more of the same next year. New cars, new teams, new combinations of engines and drivers, and all sorts of stuff is coming along. What's going to happen with Verstappen? Will he bounce back? Will Red Bull engines allow him to bounce back? Can McLaren back this up with their new car? Or did they push too far this time? And have they taken their eyes off the prize for next year? What will Ferrari bring? What will Mercedes bring? What about Newey at Aston Martin? What is that car going to be like? What of Haas? Will they stop being so fucking mid? Probably not. What of Audi? A new engine, new team structure. It's going to be fantastic. It's the same drivers, but it's going to be very, very interesting to see exactly what they bring to the table, because next year, again, new engine, new car. From what I hear, the engine's not that bad either, so it's good to keep an eye on them. Williams are going to be a big question mark next year. What exactly have they been cooking up all year? They basically ignored the car from the start of the year. They've put all of their eggs into the next basket, and you know that old saying, put your eggs in one basket, because it's probably going to work out. When it does, it'll be great. What else have we got? Racing Bulls. I'm not expecting shit out of them. Alpine. What happens out of Alpine? Actually, no. Racing Bulls. It'll be interesting to see Arvid Lindblad. That's the big name that I've been looking for the last couple of years. There's been decent talent coming in every other year. Piastri is one. Bortoletto, Behrman, Antonelli. With that generation of drivers, Arvid Lindblad is the one that I really want to see next year. He looks very, very quick. We'll see how he adapts to F1. We'll see what happens when the pressure's on. Had a win in F2 yesterday, which has been great. I can't wait to see what he can do. As far as Alpine goes, it could be anything. Could be anything. Probably not going to be great, but it could be anything. Any new races next year? No. Oh, God, yeah, that's right, the Madrid. Well, it's not all going to be great next year. Hopefully that race just won't go ahead and then we never have to suffer it. Yeah, lots to look forward to next year. Plenty to look forward to next year, but for right now, just going to look at our new world champion. Absolutely stoked. Tears are coming. His heart's in tears. His mum's in tears. It's a big moment. It's a very emotional moment. And he's earned it. Bloody earned it. Worthy world champion. Well done, Lando. Well done, Max. Second in the championship. Just can't get it done. Just. For me, driver of the year. Sometimes this is how it goes. Something about Red Bull drivers missing out on their deserved championships this year. At least in this part of the world. Either way. Yeah. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. It's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. What are the new cars going to be like? It's going to be very fun to figure out. Fireworks going off in Abu Dhabi. Good stuff. But yeah, this is the end. Thank you very, very much for joining me this year. It's been fantastic. It's been a whole lot of fun talking into the void. It's been great. It's been great. I hope you've had fun as well. Thank you very much for coming along on this little journey, and I will be back soon. I will see you at the very latest next year, maybe before that. We'll see what happens over the summer. Either way, take care, have a good holidays, whatever it is, whichever one it is. Have a good New Year's, whichever New Year it is, and yeah, I'll see you soon.